You know what? I don't think I could survive in a political environment. You know, I think I have respect for people, nothing but respect for people who step forward and get into the political lifestyle. But I'm not being a politician. I've just been a cop for 38 years, and I don't think I could ever step into that kind of environment. So, no, not on my radar screen.
And is that because you got work to do here?
Well, you know what? Even if when my time in policing is done, I'm like you. I mean, I come from a generation that was bred to work, right? We're never going to quit working. Seriously. I mean, we were bred to work. If I could retire or leave this job tomorrow, and I couldn't quit working, I'd have to find something to do. I just don't think that something would be in politics. I think it would be in something else, something that I'd like to try. Whatever that might look like, I don't know yet.
Looking back at the year that was, tell me about some of the challenges that the police force faced in 2012.
Oh, you know, there's never any shortage of challenges. The gangs are still a big issue. Organized crime gangs, still a huge issue, not only in this country, but every country across the world. Their gangs and organized crime is transnational now. Just like we have multinational corporations, we have transnational gangs. And it is a continuous challenge to police a city at this size and endeavor to stay up on all the gang issues that are impacting Calgary, that are impacting Alberta. We've got great relationships with our partners, best relationship we've ever had with the Lower Mainland Police Services because there's such movement between the Lower Mainland and Alberta. And I don't want ever people to think that the gang issue in this city has gone away just because there may be less visible shootings than there was a few years ago. It is still something that we're devoting a huge amount of resources to controlling.
Is it mostly a drug trafficking issue?
They're into everything. They're mortgage fraud. They're into everything you can think of. Extortion. They're into it all. And of course, the nature of it is many people don't want to report. That's why when you hear on the news that some guy went to the hospital with gunshot wounds and he isn't talking, well, there's a reason he's not talking. Doesn't mean we don't investigate, by the way, but it's always there. The intimidation factor, the extortion issues, the drugs, the guns, the white-collar crime that's associated to organized crime. It's there. And it's something we have to be equally as relentless with that as we are with, as they are in finding new and devious ways to target society.
I want to ask you about the number of homicides in Calgary. There was a spike a few years ago, particularly around the gang situation.
7 or 8.
Yeah, but now it's gone back to more traditional average. Does that change how homicide investigations are done now?
Well, you know what? A homicide investigation is hugely staff intense. It takes an immense amount of resources to do an investigation and then build a file to the satisfaction of the Crown that they can take it forward with a reasonable likelihood of conviction. So it takes a large amount of resources. So when it comes to, there are some people say you can't prevent homicides. Well, actually you can. Not all, because some are going to be spontaneous, but some are not. And some are as a result of gang wars, organized crime, that kind of stuff. So two things. With the reduction in homicides from the levels that they were at, it allows us to devote resources to historical homicides, and we will never give them up. As you know, we're clearing files from 07, 08, 09, you know, that take an immense amount of resources. It's not just a couple of gumshoes that go do a couple interviews and when they go, oh, you know, that's the guy, we'll go arrest him. There's always, and you've probably sat through some of those homicides, sometimes we have to send teams out of town for weeks at a time to conduct the investigation in another city. And the message we want to send to those bad guys is, just because you left Calgary doesn't mean we're not going to pursue you. We will pursue you, and we will get the evidence, and we will put you in jail. And that sends, that sends a message, but it also results in some cases, a reduction in the homicide rate from that regard, because although we can't necessarily prove it in each instance, there are frequently those that where we charge for a homicide, we've got them on that one homicide or maybe two homicides, but they've done more. So if you can put the shooters in jail, then what you're doing is you're preventing other homicides from occurring not only in Calgary but in other jurisdictions, because these guys do move around.